What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to the All Around. I'm your gracious host, Dr. Anthony. Please tune in on Mondays at 6 p.m. for your entertainment purposes. We will hit current topics, old topics, and everything else in between. Be there or be square. Deuces, my loves. Hi, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to a great episode of the All Around. I am your precious host, and I'm going to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year. We are rolling, rocking and rolling in the new year. We have new shows, new themes, new topics. So I do not have a co-host. It's still Mark and I. So he's going to be my co-host until we can find a co-host. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and introduce Mr. Mark Lee.
How are you doing today? I know you're keeping busy. You got all kinds of things going on in your world. I had Kwanzaa celebrations at Haiti last month back in December, and we're getting ready. Yeah. And we're getting ready for our big season because we got a season over at the Haiti Heritage Center. I'm not there today, even though sometimes when I'm doing your show, I am there. But we've got Brandy Younger, who is a harpist, a sister harpist out of New York and everything like that. So I'm definitely looking forward to her coming on the community and everything like that and sharing her wonderful music. So I'm looking forward to that. So that'll be really fun. And definitely that'll be taking place not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday is the 21st. And apparently she, like you, is a teacher.
Your voice is breaking up.
I think she's a professor. You don't hear me? Because everybody else has heard me. So let's see what's going on here. So you're not hearing me on your computer?
So you were sounding a little robotic. You were going in and out. So that's better.
Okay.
That is definitely better.
Okay. Cool. I don't know what was going on there, but yeah, I know
we're
excited
you're
about
there now.
I'm good now?
Yes, we are definitely. Yes, you're awesome. You're there now. So it has. Dr. Anthony's schedule has been crazy all over the place. You know, professionally, I have to get things done. I have to do trainings, have to do classes in order to maintain my certification, in order to stay abreast on current practices, best practices, things that's going on mental health-wise, things that's going on inside the classroom. So I'm always in training and I'm always taking classes right now because I have to maintain my professional licenses and maintain my licensure and my certification. So without, taking the practice. So, we do not want that to be a hindrance for me. So I do apologize, but we are rocking and rolling and we are definitely back on top of things. And we have an amazing show with great topics and new things that we are going to discuss. So let's jump right in and let's get it. So Mark, over the past week, I have been trending and I have gone viral. So last Monday, I decided to wear a pantsuit that I had saw online that I ordered. I saw the pantsuit, I ordered it, was not thinking anything of it. So I actually traveled over the weekend and I was like, you know what? This is a cool outfit that I can just throw on. I don't have to iron. Everybody knows I know how to iron. Yes, I do have to iron, but do I use it? No, I do not, because I do not know how to iron. The iron is for guests. The iron is not for me. So anywho, I was like, okay, so it's wrinkle free. I can definitely do. I just got some shoes. I just got a brand new pair of Gucci shoes that I gotten over the weekend. And I was like, you know what, let me match my shoes to the outfit. And, I'm like, oh my God, some people, they don't like print on print, matchy, but I actually like matchy. And I actually like, print and, different prints on print and things of that nature. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to wear my pink shoes and I'm going to throw a pink shirt on under it. So anywho, so I, do what I do of myself in my house, in front of my tree, taking pictures. thinking I'm, thebomb.com, which I am, thebombdiggity.com. So I get to work and, I'm just sitting there, just walking around, doing what I do, talking to the students and, things like that. So it's the end of the day. And my students, they always come and converse with me at the end of the day. They kind of like brief and some of them come and help me out, get things together inside of my classroom. SGA members are coming. They're selling snacks. The things that we have going on inside of the building. So needless to say, we were leaving out of the building and she goes, Dr. Anthony, why are you walking around looking like a Bath and Body Works bag? I said, what? She said, you walking around looking like a whole Bath and Body Works bag. I said, you know what? Hold up. I'm going to record you so the people can know what you said. I said, so hold on, give me a second. Let me get my phone and let me record your voice. So I started talking and I was like, one of my students, Miss Monet, she had something to say. She said, and things like that. So she said, I said, you walking around looking like a whole Bath and Body Works bag. So it was so funny. I was just tickled and things like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, she said, I'm walking around looking like a whole Bath and Body Works bag. So, I recorded that little segment of the video and I'm not really thinking anything of it. So I get home. I was like, you know what? Let me Google this bag and see what she's talking about. Needless to say, I look like the dang on Bath and Body Works bag. I look like the blue and white Bath and Body Works bag with the hot pink shirt on under it. Matching my shoes, matching the bag. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to tag the bag at the end of the video, and I'm going to post it just to see, get a reaction, especially out of the educators and, things like that. So I posted it. I had no idea that this was going to take off and people were going to respond the way that they responded. I have gone viral and viral and viral and viral. On my own page, I'm all TikTok. On different radio stations. I've been different radio stations. I'm at millions and millions of views on their social media. I was contacted by Bath and Body Works. They wanted my mailing address, and I'm like, hey, that's all good and dandy. Let's talk about brand deals. Let's talk about contracts because, educators and students are an untapped market that they just don't market to. They don't market to us. So let's have a conversation and let's see where we can go and move. Trending. I have made it to World Hip Hop Star. I have made it to other social media. So I just really want to see how far this is going to go and how far we're going to take it into 2026, because we are definitely rising and we're definitely viral and we continue to go viral. So yes, Mark, I did go viral. So I have all of my friends and family who are contacting me. Hey, they're like, is this you? Like the friends, family members of my friends. Hey, is this your friend? I was like, yeah, that's me. And so, I immediately went to the comments to see what people are saying, about myself and my student engaged in this conversation. So, they were like, oh my God, the student ate her up, the student roasted her, the student did this, the student did that. And I'm like thinking to myself, I don't really consider that a roast. I mean, it's very funny, it's very comical, but I just really don't consider that a roast. And I'm just like, they, communicate stuff like this all the time. And I'm one of my students to, be voiceful, to advocate for themselves, to speak up, speak their mind. So they need to be able to communicate. They need to be able to process their feelings. They need to be able to say what's on their mind in a way that is non-threatening, non-aggressive, non-malicious, and, things like that. And so she said what she said. She gave me her thoughts. We laughed about it. We went viral, and we're still laughing about it. People are coming up to me in jokes. I have people, in the comments that were like, can you go to the store, film in the store? So I actually went to the store and I filmed in store. So I do have that posted on my social media. I don't know if you pulled that up, Mark, but we can go into what was posted on the initial video that was posted on social media and see what's going on with that. And then we can go into the other video that I posted on social media while I'm actually in the store.
Yeah, I'm trying to find all of that stuff, and of course,
and you can roll
computers are acting crazy and everything like that. So still trying to get it up and all in that space. But it sounds like
it's
amazing.
Okay. It's okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna get it up. We might have to do it after the fact, but definitely I'm gonna get the email and get the Bath and Body
Works. No, you're fine. So I can continue to talk. I was just trying to I was just trying to get a break in there, and I was just trying to see, where you are, do like a post test and things like that. But I can continue to talk. So going viral has definitely been an amazing time ever going viral. I have some videos that have gotten up there to like 5,000, 6,000 views, but never anything like this. So I try to respond to the people who are, commenting and sharing, to let them know that I am seeing their messages. I am reading their comments. And, some of the comments are super funny. People are like, hey, sis, you do look like the bag, they would like the student ate with this one. They would like give the student an A. Points. She's my student, but she's not my direct student. She's my SGA student. She's part of SGA, so I don't physically teach her, but I do have her doing advisory. So I do advise them, and I do, put things out there for them to do, because I'm training leaders and I'm training, like I said, young adults and things like that. So I do work with her, but I don't teach her. So she cannot get a grade in the advisory. She just get, sound leadership, sound direction, and things of that nature. So I did negative reviews, because you're gonna always have that one person, and you're gonna always have those people that think that they know everything, and trying to police teachers. One of the comments was stating that teachers have too much time on their hand, maybe they're being paid too much. Really? So what I do in my personal time, you have a problem with what I do in my personal time, because I filmed the video after work, and it was actually at 5 o'clock when the video was filmed, when we were on the way walking out the door. And if you look at the video, you can see that there are no students inside of the class.
Right. It was New York after time, right?
And that was Miss Monet, and we were leaving out the door, because we walk out every day together. And I tell her because she walks home, I tell her when she, gets home, to let me know that she has, made it home. And, things like that. So, it wasn't like, any instruction was, disrupted. The lesson was disrupted, because I don't do that. That social media is a pastime in the part-time of my life, which is after work, before work, on the weekends, and things like that. But for some much time on their hands, they're being paid too much. That's a direct slap in the face, because anybody knows that teachers are not paid what we are deserved, and we are fighting every day, fighting to be there and show up for the kids, but also fighting for a living wage, so that we can be there for the kids and show up for them. So I thought that was very very unsavory of her, because it was a female who posted it. Unsavory of her to say something like that. And then, other people, most people were really pleasant. They were, saying the jokes and, oh, sis, you really did look like the bag. Oh my God, you're his Bath and Body Works now. So I did a video explaining basically what I explained to you, that I was trying to match everything to my shoes, which I was, and I showed that in a video as well, that I was trying to match everything to my shoes, because I had these pink Gucci shoes on, and I wanted to match the pink shirt with my Gucci shoes with the blue outfit, blue and white and cream. So we did that. And so, so it's been very interesting with, the comments. And like I said, there were some, some negativity and, stuff like that or whatever. But, it's always going to have someone who try to rain on your parade and try to, say things that are unsavory, that are just not, where it needs to be, and things like that. But, like I said, I know what type of person I am. I know I do my job. I know my students respect me. And I know my students know.
Yeah,
they know I don't tolerate the foolishness and, things like that, because, Huh?
They definitely respect you.
I'm sorry, can you say it again?
They definitely respect you from what I've heard and everything like that.
Yeah.
Still having a hard time getting it up, so it might be after the fact that we get that video. But I definitely will get it up so that people can see the video, because you do look like the Bath and Body Works bag. There's no doubt about that. I was watching the video and everything like that, so it was fun. But we might have to slice it in there so that people can see it here on Pod TV and everything like that as I find it and have more time to do it. It was kind of
we can definitely splice it in there. Yes.
But yeah, but definitely a lot
Yes,
going
no,
on. I know
yeah,
you've also
you're
been
absolutely
to
correct. I do apologize for that.
no problem. And I know that you've been to Louisiana and taking care of some family matters as well. So I know that you're always talking about the power of that home state of yours, even though you're in the DC area and everything like that. So I know you spent some time with family members and stuff like that. So I know that had to be both a good and sad times because you were there for some sad reasons as well and everything like that. But I know that definitely I'm still waiting to get my Louisiana food and everything from that for you because I know that you're going to send me some more of that good old gumbo and stuff like that and some of the sauces. So I'm looking forward to getting that from you or your mom or whoever be sending it to me and everything like that. But yeah, lots going on and everything. We're actually looking for a new director over at the Hayti Heritage Center. So we've got people that have been coming by and possibly getting the job. I think one came from Savannah, another might be coming from the Northeast. So we're interviewing candidates for that job. So I definitely was involved in that for an interview last week with one of the candidates and everything in that space. So a lot's going on in that way, in changes in the leadership and management. Because, even in the nonprofit world, there's oftentimes changes afoot and everything like that. But we've got, as I said, that season that'll include Yazra, who is a neo soul singer. It'll also include Branford Marcellus, one of your New Orleans people, next month. He'll be back because he spent some time here in Durham, North Carolina, and everything like that. It'll also feature Keith Knight, the illustrator that's behind the Woke series and everything like that. And he actually lives here in Durham, North Carolina. If you know that Woke series, it's on Hulu and everything like that. It deals with police brutality and everything in that space. And of course, that's very much in the news now because of what went on in Minneapolis with Renee Good and everything like that. And then the first concert, as I was saying at the beginning, will be Brandy Younger, and she is a harpist out of New York City and also very much involved in the teaching profession because I think she's a professor at NYU, if I remember correctly. And she's fairly young. I think she's in her early 40s. I was actually teasing one of my coworkers that we have the same birthday. Both of us are born July 1st, even though we're a decade apart. Or decades apart, I should say.
No, that's totally understandable. Yeah, that's totally understandable. And, things like that. But, like I said, with the whole going viral, it brings on, a different type of attention that, is brought to you, not only by getting, negativity from, people about, filming and at school and things like that. I'm also getting, negativity from different people who are trying to contact me. And, I have people in my DMs and in my messages, they're trying to speak to me in the DMs, men, of course. Oh, you're stuck up, you're one of them. First of all, just because you contact me does not mean to you. And I need people to understand that. And I have no intentions on responding to you because I have no intentions on engaging you in conversation because I'm just not engaging you in conversation. And that's just the bottom line, and one of the things too is men, what, really disappoints me is, they feel as if, if I give a woman a little bit of attention, then she automatically has to respond and she automatically has to talk to me. No, I don't have to automatically to respond because I've done videos before that I've stated in my video that stop DMing me because I have no interest in talking to you. If I want to talk to you, I will, but at this point I have no interest in talking to you. I have a lot of things going on which they don't need to know that or whatever, and I'm over here doing me, but blowing up my DMs and trying to get me to respond by saying little jazzy things and making little sassy right there is going to get you totally ignored. I'm a Taurus and we ignore people very well and we don't communicate unless we want to communicate. And so I'm just, navigating all of that, getting all of the attention from, going viral, people that I haven't spoken to in years or, reaching out, sending me messages and things like that or whatever. I'm trying to respond to everyone who has actually, responded on the video. I am going back in because I don't to think, like, oh, okay, so she went viral and she's ignoring people. So no, I don't do that. I'm living up to my word. I did go into the store and I did do videos at the store. And this one location that I went into, I really didn't. I did video there, but the people wasn't as friendly. So we're gonna go back to a different location where we can get some people to, like actually role play with me, because people have termed me Miss Bath and Body Works. So that's my name, Mark. I am Miss Bath and Body Works. I am unofficially the official ambassador, the brand ambassador for for Bath and Body Works now. So they did reach out, like I said, about, sending me some products and things like that. But I also responded with, let's talk about, collaborations. And I would like for them to, tell me what are they doing in their education department, because I am an educator. I do work with students. I do work with teachers. So I would like to know how, they work with, educators, if giving discounts, if not doing something special for educators at Educators Day or, something like that. So we are in communication for the most part. We haven't spoken directly. We have only spoken through text messages and things like that. And so I'm really excited to see what this opportunity brings. So yeah, so it's been different. Like I said, a whole lot of attention. I've gotten a lot of unnecessary, unwanted attention, from men, from women, people, like I said, people making negative comments, which I don't care about that, it's just one thing after the other. It's like I said, to me, that wasn't really a roast. I just thought it was super funny. I mean, because, people don't dictate, what I do and what I wear. I was just like, I wanted done with the outfit, because I typically only wear my outfits one time anyway, and I typically donate them. And I don't know that, but I don't want to sound cocky, but that's typically what happens anyway. I always donate to Goodwill, but people ask me to keep the outfit, so I am going to keep it. I will make appearances at the store because I just think it's super hilarious and super funny. The kids are loving it, so they're coming up to me in the hallway. Oh my God, Dr. Anthony, I saw you on TikTok. You went viral. Oh my God, you're Miss Bath and Body Works. Oh my God, I love it. So I mean, it's just something that we can laugh together. We can experience it together. We can, joke, and we can have fun, because with all this hate, animosity, and this trauma that's going on, and what our kids are experiencing, laughter is good. Laughter is great. And so I'm just pleased that the children are, buying into, the jokes, and, laughing about, their teacher has been termed Miss Bath and Body Works, and they see me on social media and they were like, oh my God, you're on social media. You're famous now. I was like, well, I guess, the people know who I am now. So, and I just, and I applaud that. Because like I said, we're not raising little kids. We're raising young adults. We're raising people that's going to, be the next judges, the next lawyers, the next, the next doctors, the next nurses, and they need to know how to handle themselves. And so that's my main mission, and that's my main goal. And like I said, if you think that's roasting, you've never worked in elementary. The first time that I was cursed out, Mark, I was cursed out by an
elementary student,
a second grader. When I first started teaching in Louisiana, in Red River Parish, I was cursed out. And it was so funny. That was the first elementary, second grader. That was the very first time I was called a bitch and a hoe in the classroom. And that was by a second grader. And it's so funny because now that he's an adult, he actually follows me on social media, and he's connected to me on social media. So it's really funny. Although, he cursed me out, I still made an impact, and I still, touched him in a way that he felt that, he could follow his teacher, and he could see what I'm doing. And I have other students who follow me, other students who tell me, Dr. Anthony, they appreciate me being in their lives. They appreciate me doing what I did and, giving them the advice that I give and, how strong of an educator that I am. Because I'll never forget, Mark. It was one time I was working I was in DC. And so the kids were like, one of the little boys was like, why are you here? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, why are you not, in Virginia working with the white kids because you're a great teacher? I said, why do I have to go and work with the white kids? I said, don't you deserve a great teacher? I said, I'm here because I want to be here because you deserve a great teacher. Right. You deserve that teacher that they have over there. So I'm here to give you the same experience that I would have given them if I was over there. So, and he was so amazed by that. And he actually follows me and he was like, oh my God, you're famous now. So he and I were connecting. I was like, we can go to lunch. Or we can meet for dinner and we can catch up and things like that or whatever. So I know that I make an impact and I know that, I'm doing what's right by those kids. And those kids know that as long as they're in the right, I will fight for them. I will stand up for them. I would do everything that I need to do for those kids that's in my power. Those kids know that I have their backs. Those kids know that, hey, Dr. Anthony is the cool teacher. Dr. Anthony is the one. But they also know Dr. Anthony don't play. You know what I'm saying? They also know that I would get with them in a so, jokey and having fun with my students, I can do that. But they also respect me to the point where, there's no disrespect. So, for her to feel comfortable enough to, joke with me like that and say, what she said, I appreciate that because I teach my children to be voiceful. I teach my students to, advocate. I teach my children to converse. I teach my children to use your language, to use your voice, to speak your piece, because it's all about your tone and your delivery. Because you can say what you want to say as long as your tone and your approach is decent. So to, read some of the comments and to see, some of the things that some of the people were saying or whatever, it was a little disheartening for, adults to come for another adult, because at the end of the day, I'm just, I'm multi-dimensional. Dr. Anthony is just a title. The title does not make me, I make the title, which I've always said that. And to have students, feel comfortable enough to, have a laugh with you, speak volume, because children hold trauma. They hold so much weight of the world on their shoulders. And I have a lot of Hispanic students who are going through, trauma and turmoil right now because their families are being deported, their fathers, their mothers, their cousins, and, people that they know that they're being deported. And to have my kids come up and, enjoy a moment with me, I wouldn't trade it for them. And so, that was, one of those laughs and one of those times that, we just died laughing. And so we're still laughing about it because students and people are still coming up to me saying that, oh my God, I saw you on social media. Oh my God, you have a lot of views, you have a lot of likes, and oh my God, you're everywhere. So, I mean, I don't mind my kids coming up and having a laugh.
Yeah, you're a superstar.
Oh my God, Dr. Anthony, you really did look like that Body Works bag. Oh my God, you went to the store. I can't believe you went to the store.
But you are definitely a superstar, and maybe we can get back to Body Works.
I have been that.
Yep, definitely a superstar. Maybe we can get Bath and Body Works to sponsor this show and everything like that. They can be a sponsor.
I'm sorry, can you repeat yourself, Mark?
I said you are definitely a superstar, and maybe we can get Bath and Body Works to sponsor this.
So maybe we can get Bath and Body Works to sponsor. I need everybody to tag Bath and Body Works.
Yep, no doubt about that.
Yeah, I need everybody to go ahead and tag. Your voice is going out again.
It's going out again. Can you not hear me this time? That's weird.
No, I can hear you now. So
okay. Now I was just saying we need to get them to. Yep. Get them to sponsor us and everything like that. And
so now at this point, that's where I need everybody to start tagging Bath and Body Works to let them know that, hey, you got a new Miss Bath and Body Works. She can be your sponsor. I've already unofficially acquired the title, so they need to go ahead and make it official. I am Miss Bath and Body Works. Let's get my picture on a bag. Let's get me standing up in the store on a cardboard cutout. Let's do all of those things. Let's build partnerships with the school. we can get some merch for the kids, for the teachers. Let's do all that stuff. I really do look forward to working with Bath and Body Works, and I hope we can forge a friendship and a partnership, and we can come up with some type of solution where we under contract, and I can get, I can get what's deserved, because it's been a long time coming. You know what I'm saying? It's been a long time coming. So, I tell people all the time, God is a good God. He's a benevolent God. He's omnipotent. He's never late. He's always on time. But this is my time. So I'm just, thanking him in advance and thanking him every day for all of the blessings that he has bestowed upon me, for, putting my name out there and putting my name in rooms where I'm not even a part of, and I'm being contacted by people saying, I saw you, I heard you, I want to work with you. So, that right there speak volumes. So I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, in the classroom, out of the classroom, and wherever I go and whomever I'm with, so that right there is a testament within itself, and it speaks volumes about my character and who I am as a person. Because I even had some educators say, "Oh my God, I can't believe you follow through." If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, and that's just the bottom line. You asked me to do something, I said I would do it, and so I wanted to let you know that I gave you my word, and your word is bond. If you can't give a person your words, you don't have anything more. So I'm just pleased about the video. I know it's a lot of things that we could have discussed, but I just wanted to dedicate this particular show to talking about going viral and addressing some of the things that was stated in the comments by people who are unsavory and just being right. I mean, like I said, I'm not Dr. Anthony all the time. I don't wear this hat all the time. I'm T from Louisiana at the end of the day, so don't think because I'm laughing and I'm smiling that, I take the lightly, because I don't. And, most people that know me know I don't play when it comes to, disrespect and being disrespectful. I'm not a disrespectful person until you make me be disrespectful. Because you come at me incorrect, I will come at you incorrect. I'm giving you that same energy. And that's just the bottom line. But I'm, like I said, Mark, I am super excited. So hopefully I'll get brought up on SNL. Jimmy Fallon, let's go, Jimmy Fallon. Let's have that interview. SNL, let's do that skit.
Seth Colbert, you can be on Seth Colbert.
I'm looking forward to, to continue the jokes. And to, continue engaging students and engaging with the people in my building, because everybody is coming. Oh my God, Dr. Anthony, you're viral. I'm like, yeah, I know. I was like, I was really popular overseas, but now I'm getting really popular in the States. And that's one of my goals that I said in 2026, that I wanted to bring my popularity up in the States. And so now it is happening, Mark. When I say I am super excited, I am super excited. I cannot wait, Mark.
It sounds like it. You're very much excited, and I'm excited for you and everything, and us as well, because it definitely will be great for the show and all along those lines. And don't know about going viral, but I know that both my mom and my dad were filmed by a filmmaker, because they're doing a film about a friend of mine who is a quilt maker. So it's really about her and her quilt background. But because they had experience with her when she was a member of my parents' radio station, one of the few community radio stations in the country that weren't affiliated with a university and everything like that. So Jerry Ann King, they're doing a film about her and her quilting. They also did one about Brother Yusef and his jazz and everything. But I know that both mom and dad were interviewed by some filmmakers that came to their individual houses and brought the whole set with them and everything like that. And they were definitely interviewed and enjoyed being interviewed by those filmmakers who are professional filmmakers and activists as well. So that took place during the holidays and everything like that. I think both of their interviews were in December, if I remember correctly. One of them might be in January, because in talking to the filmmaker, they might be coming back to Dad's house and everything like that. So definitely, even though I'm not going viral, and even though Dad's not going viral, they are getting some notoriety, and they will be part of this film about this quilter who moved here from out of state. I forgot where she moved from, but she has become a recognized quilter, because, a lot of times quilts are telling stories and are definitely a form of art that people forget about and everything like that. I know we're going to wrap up because this will be a short show, but definitely I want people to know about it going viral and everything along those lines and everything like that. So definitely looking forward to that, and I'll attach the video so that folks can find it and can check it out, and all along those lines at the end of this episode on future reruns and everything along that line and everything. So any reruns after this will have the video so people can see you going viral. Maybe you can have 2 or 3 of those videos attached as well. But I did have a just quick question for you and everything like that.
Yeah.
But that was watching Rebecca Dubas, who is a poet. I'm a big fan of spoken word. And she was doing a poem, and I made that as well. Rebecca Dubas, she's a poet, and she was doing a poem about value in friendship and everything like that. But she was talking about this notion, of which I know you talked about as well. She has a poem that's been out there for a few, I think a year or two, called Breaking Up with Women. And one of the lines is how we be out here dropping girlfriends like flies and reconnecting with the same man who damn near ruined our lives. So he's talking about how a lot of times women are too quick to quit their friends and not as quick to quit the guys that might be messing up their lives. And there are a lot of other things that she talks about within that poem and everything like that. So I just wanted your thoughts about that. And like I said, I may attach that as well, because that's one of those things that has gone viral, where she's talking about breaking up with women and also how to slay a dragon and a number of other things that she's got going on in that space, but everything. But I have women friends like you and others that are, but not saying that you've done that, but I've had friends that have definitely been too quick to break up with their women friends and don't give their women friends enough of a break in terms of giving them a shot at redeeming themselves. And I'm not saying every friendship needs to be redeemed. Some friendships are beyond redemption and everything like that. But it was an interesting point, and I didn't know if you had any thoughts around that idea of breaking up with friends sometimes more quickly than you are willing to break up with the women. And the same can be said about men, because men sometimes break up with their man friends quicker than they are breaking up with the ladies in their lives.
Well, my thing is, you're going to break up with a friend. I don't think that person was your friend in the first place, because, I tell people all the time that even if I'm dating someone, I let them know that my friends are not going anywhere. It's either you going to comply and get with the program, or I can't date you, because my friends were there before you. My friends were there when I was at my lowest. My friends were there when I had nothing. My friends were there, through the struggle, through the fire, the storm, and the rain. So I'm not going to turn my back on my friends because you're new in my life. Because at the end of the day, you can walk out of my life at any point in time. And guess who I'm going to have? My friends. So I'm not that person that will, stop a friendship because of, insignificant little things, because everybody is not on all the time. Everybody is not going to be 100 all the time. We all go through things. And these are conversations that I have with my students that, even, if you're experiencing something, say that you're experiencing something, let me know. And then I'll know how I need to handle you. I'll know that I need to back up. I need to, step away. I need to give you a moment, or to come over, we need to have ice cream, we need to have chocolate, so it just depends, because my thing is, if you can drop a person just like that over something insignificant and over foolish, you were never my friend in the first place. So to me, and I guess that's because I am Southern, and we're a little different in the South. I value friendship, I value relationships. So for me, it takes an act of Congress for me to stop dealing with you. And don't drop my friendships, and I don't drop relationships like that unless it's something major that has taken place. And that's just me. And like I said, I've had people from my childhood who I'm still friends with today, people from college. Every time we go to homecoming, it's like about 20 or 30 of us that come. They called us the clique on campus, and everybody knows that's the clique that we all meet up for homecoming at Northwestern State University. The Northwestern State University, home of the Demons, in Natchitoches, Louisiana. And we meet up every October for homecoming. And we've been friends for over 20, 30 years. And, we've had distance and things like that. And we've never ended a friendship over, anything minute, anything minor. We might not talk to each other every day. We might not see each other, in a couple of months or whatever. But when we get together, it's like we were never apart. And so, friendship is about long-lasting friendships. To me, is about more than just, kicking somebody to the curb over, a silly argument or something that you agree with, or because somebody didn't call you. Life is lifing. People have lives. People are doing things. And, for you to be that vain to think that I have to call you consistently every day, every week, every second, every hour, every minute, that is, utterly insane, because you cannot sustain, relationships like that. And to me, that's a faux relationship. That means it's fake, And so I would rather have my long lasting friends where I can communicate every few months and every so often than to have that quick friendship where, I know that it's not going to go anywhere. Even out here, I've met, some decent people out here that, I'm actually friends with and things, and we're still friends. But the bulk of my ride or dies that I know are ride or dies, they're in the South. Those are the ladies that I went to high school with. Those are the ladies that I graduated college with, and then I do have some ride or dies out here. I'm not going to even lie. I do have some ride or dies. They are ride or dies, but those are that I value their friendships, even if we, have, little disagreement, it's never to the point where I have to break up with you and I have to leave you alone and I have to stop talking to you, because my thing is, that means that I was never your friend. If I can't be there in your good times, I can be there in your good times, but I can't be there in your bad times, then what kind of friend am I? Who am I as a person to drop you when you're at your lowest? Who am I as a person to drop you when you're going through trauma? Who am I as a person to drop you when, need me the most? What does that say about the content of my character and things like that or whatever? So, honestly, I view friendship totally different, So,
and I think that's what and I think that's what the poet was trying to say and everything like that. That's the impression I got, and all along those lines. Just really quickly, and then we'll get out of here after this quick question and everything. But what is it with these athletes? I just saw there was some more that were doing it this weekend and everything along those lines that don't know how to, because you're a teacher, so maybe you have some thoughts around themselves, behave themselves. Because we got a couple of athletes that have gotten in trouble after their run into playoffs or after their football career was winding down and everything like that. Because I think I've seen a couple that were done doing things from burglary to assault and everything like that. So is it just that they are don't have enough home training and haven't gotten enough support from their peers, or maybe too many of their peers are pushing them into negative things and all along those lines? So I just wanted your thoughts when you hear about these athletes that are doing horrendous and criminal activities, even though they made $8.
At the end of the day, these are grown goddamn men. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, these are grown goddamn men. Can't nobody make you do anything. And I tell the children, oh, they're making me laugh. They're making me. Who's making you? You control you. At the end of the day, nobody is making you do anything. These are grown ass men. So if you go out there and do some stupid stuff, that was on your own volition. It was not because somebody else did this. It was not because somebody else did that. Because you could have turned around and you could have walked away. So I just look at it as being, foolish and like, oh, I'm so and so. I think they're getting a big head. Like, I'm not gonna get in trouble. I'm not gonna feel any consequences and things like that. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, you're a grown ass person. You know right from wrong. You know up from down. You know left from right. So can't nobody say, I did whatever because somebody made me do it, and that's just crazy, because you have the mindset, you have the willpower, you have everything to say no. You don't have to do that, but you're going to go along to get along. Then whatever happens to you, because like I said, at the end of the day, you're grown. You know right from wrong. So there's just really no excuse. Honestly, there's really no excuse. Because I think, a lot of these people have the money and the notoriety, the fame, and they're looking like, I'm not going to get in trouble. But, that right there is just, that's so asinine. It's so insignificant for you to, have that mindset and think that way, based off of your status and based off of, what you think you are in a title. It's just foolish, just totally asinine. And, for them to be out there just acting egregious and nefarious with that unsavory behavior, that's just foolish. A grown ass man. you know, and some of you have children, what type of, you know, role model are you being for your kids? I'm not saying that you have to be a role model for other people's kids, but what type of role model are you being for the people that are in your household? What are you going to teach your children?
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, unfortunately,
It's
one
about
of the
you
incidents.
at the end of the day. So, you know, like I said, Mark, these are grown goddamn ass people. I have no sympathy for them because you know right from wrong.
Yeah, they should know right from wrong. Unfortunately, one of the incidents involved the team that I root for because I'm a Vikings fan, a longtime Vikings fan, and apparently Jordan Addison, who is one of their receivers, was arrested and charged with charges around trespassing and everything like that. And I guess he was doing it back in his home area of Florida and everything along those lines. So he was detained at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Tampa, and has been charged with first-degree misdemeanor trespassing, and definitely he's just having to post a small cash bond and everything like that. So it'll be interesting to see how these things play out. But that was just one incident, and this is a young man who's not that far off from your student's age, because I think he's 23 years old and all along those lines. But yeah, he should know right from wrong, no matter whether I'm a fan of his team or not, and everything like that. So definitely it might even impact his big-time contract, because, you know, they can add they could take away the deal just as fast as they can give the deal as well. So he might have jeopardized his deal by doing something that was stupid in the long run and everything along those lines. But like I said, it sounds like it was a misdemeanor trespassing charge. So maybe he was just trying to prove that he could be a little bit contrary or something along those lines. I got to get some more details as to what was going on.
And then, like I was going to say, at the end of the day, it goes back to that home training. You know, right. Apparently your parents didn't teach you home training because, you know, me personally, I just don't go places I'm not supposed to be. I have to have a reason to be in those places, because when you're in places where you're not supposed to be, stuff always happens. So I'm not the one to be in places where I'm not supposed to be. I go where I'm supposed to go and I go home, or I'm going to handle my business and I do what I'm supposed to do. And that's just the bottom line. You're 23 years old. You're not a child. You're a grown ass man. You know better. You know right from wrong. You knew you wasn't supposed to be there. You knew you were trespassing. So, I mean, it's really nothing left to be said, honestly. Mm-hmm. You know, you just got to handle your business.
Yep. You got to handle your business, be responsible.
You're an adult, period. Yep. You're an adult.
No, I agree with you on that and everything. So we actually went a little bit longer than we thought we were going to go and everything like that. So I'll get ready to get us on out of here and everything like that. But it was a fun show, and we'll definitely attach the video so that people can see what you're talking about and everything along those lines. And we do need Bath and Body Works to become a sponsor of this show and also make her the official Bath and Body Works lady and everything like that, and definitely have her going to stores around the country, because I know that there's even some Bath and Body Works here in North Carolina and every other place as well. So we need to have Dr. Anthony traveling the country to be representing Bath and Body Works and everything along those lines. So on that note, I don't know if you got your usual catchphrase that you usually say when we get ready to get out of here and everything like that.
I got it. So deuces, my love. The clock on the wall says that's all. Make sure you click like and share. Make sure you check out, you know, the commentary and the things that we're bringing forth. Mark will add the videos to the end of the video so you guys can see what I'm actually talking about. So with that being said, you know, the clock on the wall says that's all. So Mark, bring us on out of here. Deuces.
Deuces.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the All Around. I'm your gracious host, Dr. Anthony. Please tune in on Mondays at 6 p.m. for your entertainment purposes. We will hit current topics, old topics, and everything else in between. Be there or be square. Deuces, my loves. So my student, Miss Monet, I'm not gonna put her on camera, but tell them what you said. Tell them what you said.
I said you're walking around looking like a Bath and Body Works bag.
So she said I'm walking around looking like a whole Bath and Body Works bag. So So you know I'm not wearing this outfit again. I'm one and done.